Hey guys, I hope that I'm live right now. If you guys are able to listen me properly, as well as there's no issues with the audio or the video, please let me know. Varun Sharma, could you let me know which group are you talking about? What is the name of the group? So I'll get it checked via my team. Like who fucked up, basically. Because that is also needed for me to understand, right? Uh, Angel Grace, could you also let me know what is the name of your group? Hey guys, so how was your day? Oh, it's way too hot in Bangalore today. Again, man. For the first 2 days, it felt as if it was getting better for Bangalore. It is again seat. Mohit Gupta, could you also let me know what is the name of your group so that I'm able to understand? Okay, all went well. I went well. Okay. I didn't sleep. I didn't receive certificates of last boot camp. I think so. Like the certificates have already been sent, Bhanu Prakash. I will request you to check it up once in your spam folder. Sometimes it lands in the spam folder itself. Yash Mishra, could you please let me know which group? What is the name of your group? Because without the name of the group, I cannot understand anything. Okay, bootcamp C++ and data structures and algorithms. Bhanu Prakash, I have checked. Okay, so do one thing, Bhanu Prakash. Take out the like screenshots of all the 7 days of attendance that you have got, and email it to us with your name, email ID, whatever you have used in the attendance itself, to certificate@devtown.in. Okay, Omkar Pujari, you also do the exact same thing itself. Okay. I have mailed you. Don't mail me. Okay. If you mail me, I can't do shit about it. Mail it to certificate@devtown.in. It will take us 2 to 3 weeks to get it verified and send the certificates to you. Again, if you have not used the exact same email in every single attendance, if you have missed out any more than one attendance, then you will not get the certificates. Okay. Please keep that in mind. So if you are missing out on more than 1 days of attendance, or you have not used the same same email ID in every single attendance, you will not be able to get it. Sir, I got selected for job today. Lavanya, that's extremely great, and congratulations to you for the same as well. Okay, guys, I have a small we are actually recruiting for the very first time for a internship at 5,000 rupees itself. So this is the very first time I'm trying this out. So it is not a normal internship. So I think so you guys must know, right? When you apply for your like I want to become a campus ambassador or a citizen at DevTown, you apply at DevTown for the same. So somebody from DevTown reaches out to you and gives you the task, helps you with the process itself, right? So that particular person, we are finally converting that position into a paid internship. Up till now, it was just some we had some volunteers who were helping out to us. Okay, but this month our YouTube revenue has gone to 15,000, so we have some money to recruit 3 people on our team itself. So 5,000, 5,000, 5,000, that is our budget for the same. So it is something that will be in the evening, that will go on in the evening itself. So would you guys be interested in something like this? Please let me know. Would you guys be interested in something like this, guys? Please let me know. Like, or not, like if not, it's fine. Like I don't mind that. Like I'm just asking that. Okay. So the only prerequisite for the same is your communication skill set and your willingness to give us time. So that is the two things that is there. So if you guys want to apply for that, we have posted the internship on Internshala. Let me share my screen and show it to you guys. Don't judge me, guys. This is the first time I'm doing this, so I am. Okay, we will get better with the stipend and everything. We only afford that what YouTube gives us, right? Because we want to keep DevTown as a, like, not a loss making thing, not a profit making thing. We just want it to execute at like no loss, no profit. Okay, that's it. We don't want money. We don't want to give money as well. It's as simple as that. We enjoy running DevTown. That is the reason why we do it. But to put money from our own pockets, that means we will have to cut back on our lifestyle that I don't want. Already I've cut back a lot. Okay, so yeah, I'll just open up Internshala right over here. Internshala, if I am having the access for the same. I will have to log in through a student ID, like I think so. So, do I have a student ID? I don't know. Login. Nah, this is something wrong. Let me log out once again. Okay, I have to sign up, I guess. Sign up with Google. I'll just use the default email ID. Internships, work from home. Okay, I'll just search for DevTown. I cannot search. Yeah, I will just search right over here, DevTown, DevTown, and I will search from right over here. Okay, so as you're able to see, we have some that is there. Okay, this is the one that I was talking about. I've just posted it up today itself. So there are 38 applicants currently that are there. I've posted it, I think so, 2 hours ago, approximately. And yeah, so the duration is approximately 4 months. The stipend will be 5,000 rupees per month fixed. So that is a fixed stipend that will be there. And yeah, we have currently 15. Who the fuck posted 15 openings? Like, we have 3 openings, but it's fine. Somebody posted right over there. So yeah, if somebody wants to apply for the same, they can go on Internshala. And I'm not promoting Internshala. We are currently in the process of making a platform very similar to Internshala. But yeah, so if you guys want, you can definitely take part in that. Okay, so now that is being done. So let's start. Okay. So I was absent for 2 days. So Anand, like I have already said, anything more than 1 day, you will not be able to get these certificates. Okay. So yeah. So shall we start with our today's class, guys? Please let me know. We have to start with vectors in our today's class. Shall we start, guys? Please let me know. Yeah, the link not being available on WhatsApp. I will talk to my team today and I'll get it sorted. Okay. Shall we start, guys? Please let me know. Yes? Okay, great, guys. Awesome. So let me pop out the chat. Let me place it to the left. Let me make this a bit smaller. And what else did I need to do? I need to search for C++ online compiler. Okay. So now, yesterday we learned about arrays. You guys remember arrays, right? The society that we had. Now, whenever you want to build a society, whenever you want to build an array, you first have to declare that, okay, I want to build an array of just 10 people. Only 10 people can live in this society. Only 10 houses can be there in this society. That's it. I cannot add any new people into that society. I cannot, like, I can keep less than that. I can have 10 houses, only 3 houses are currently filled. Okay, 7 houses are currently empty. But I cannot have 11 houses. I have declared only 10, then I can only have 10 houses. Now, this is a very big problem, right? When you want to take an input from the user, and on the basis of that, you will have your entire problem statement being created. You cannot rely upon arrays with like a confidence itself, right? Because, for example, if the user says that, okay, this particular problem statement requires only 5 houses, then, and you cannot keep your code like, are you guys able to understand what I'm trying to say? In arrays, you have, I will just make myself a little bit shorter because it's getting a bit more awkward for me. Okay, so right over here, guys, like I said, arrays have a fixed size. Once you create an array, you cannot change the size of the array, and you have to create it, give the size of the array while coding. So it cannot change based on user's input. If the user gives an input that is greater than the size of the array, that is the number of places, that is the number of elements it can hold, then that is not going to work for us. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. Uh, Tanisha, you cannot fill attendance using different emails, Tanisha. You have to use the same emails. I cannot do anything in that. That is an automated process, right? So, what is the solution for this? Because when you are going to do competitive programming or data structures and algorithms, you want to use arrays, but you want the arrays to be dynamically sized. That means that it can have 2 elements, it can have 2000 elements, it can have n number of elements. Now, what is the solution for this? One of the shitty solutions, okay, one of the shitty solutions that is there is that create an array of the max size. Create an array of 1 lakh elements or 10,000 elements or 20,000 places itself, and then leave it empty. Depending upon how many places you want to use based on users input, you can easily use it. For example, in the question, in the DSA question, it is usually mentioned that the user's input can be up to 10,000 particular elements only. It cannot exceed more than that. So you, when you're coding, you create an array that is of 10,000 elements. If the user can give a smaller particular size as well, it's fine. We can accommodate in that particular array. But the problem with that is you are wasting unnecessary places. You're wasting unnecessary space, unnecessary memory inside of your computer. That is the reason why your code will become very slow, as well as it will require more memory, it will require more space, and that is not good. Because when you are dealing with data structures and algorithms and competitive programming, you want your code to utilize as less space as possible and be as fast as possible. These are the two things on the basis of which you are going to be judged. Are you guys able to understand this, guys? Please let me know. Are you guys able to understand this, guys? Who the fuck has closed the ACs? It is becoming way too hot. Give me a second, guys. I need to switch on the ACs. Okay. So the solution for that was given was something called as the vector, guys. Vector. Vector is exactly like arrays, but it can be dynamically sized. What do I mean by that? Let me draw it out for you guys. Give me a second, guys. I'll just arrange this properly so that you guys are able to see it properly as well. Make this larger. Okay. So for example, if I write that this is an array ARR and this is of size 5. So this will create something that is always going to be just of size 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Only 5 elements can be filled right over here. I can have 2 elements filled and the rest can be empty, but it can contain maximum of 5 elements, not more than that. Not more than that. Whereas if you created a vector that had 5 elements, you declared it with 5 elements, it will create another some structure that is very similar to an array with 5 elements itself. But let's say that I have filled all the elements. I've filled all the elements. As soon as I try to fill another element, which does not exist, the place currently does not exist, but if I try to fill another element right over here, what will vector do is that it will double the size of the current vector automatically. So instead of having just 5 places, it will create something that has 10 places. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, it will create a work vector immediately with 10 spaces in which 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 places are already filled up. 6 places are already filled up and you are having 4 more empty spaces. If you fill these 4 more empty spaces as well, if you fill these 4 more empty spaces and you try to put another element right over here, again the vector will double its size to give you that particular feature. So you don't have to worry that, oh, the user is giving us only I don't know what is the input of the user, I don't know what size of the array should I create, so on and so forth. That entire headache is taken up by vectors. One of the other benefit of vector is that it has a lot of supporting tools around it, which helps you code much more faster, much more efficiently when compared to an array. Okay, that is also another feature of vectors, guys, which we are going to see very soon in our today's class. So in our today's class, our aim is to understand vectors so that we are able to start our final data structures and algorithms from tomorrow onwards itself. So shall we start with understanding a little bit more about vectors practically? Please let me know. See, guys, again, please don't go behind certificates. Certificates don't carry any kind of value. Please try to understand this. I don't know why you guys are like, have you guys seen Pokemon? I would like to ask Paridhi, have you seen Pokemon when you were children? Paridhi, did you see Pokemon when you were a child? Rest of you guys can also let me know. But I am asking this to Paridhi in general as well, in particular as well as in general. Paridhi, have you seen Pokemon when you were a child, or recently maybe you have seen Paridhi? Yes? So don't be like Ash Ketchup. This is not Pokemon. Don't go around collecting Pokemons itself. These certificates have no value. No certificate in the entire world has any value. I did a certification that costed me 1.5 lakh rupees, which was not even a fucking course. It was an examination that I had to give. It was a machine learning engineer certificate given by Google directly, in which Google gave an exam. There was no course. It was just a fucking syllabus and an exam that was there related to that syllabus. If you clear that exam with, I think so, at double point of time, you had to score above 80% marks, then you get that certificate. Okay. The cost of giving that exam was $1,000. Okay, I gave $1,000 that I saved up from my stipend, and I failed the first exam. That was 75,000 rupees at that point of time. I failed the first exam. I gave the particular money once again to give the exam once again. I passed the exam. I spent 1.5 lakh rupees getting that certificate. I got placed into Google, and I'm telling you guys this throughout my entire interview at Google, at Reliance, at Jio. Throughout the entire, I think so, I've taken up interviews for more than 60-70 companies, including Microsoft, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan and Chase. I've taken up these interviews. Never I have seen any interviewer asking for certificates. Never. No interviewer even is interested to see your certificates as well. Even in my interviews, I was very excited. Bhai, I'm going for an interview at Google. I will show this certificate to them. They gave me, it was like an exam. Like, I am going to get selected on the basis of this. Nobody gave a fuck about the certificate. If they want to know whether you know data structures and algorithms or not, they are going to just ask you 2 questions and they will get to know that. If you want a certificate right now, you can go to Photoshop and create 50 different fake certificates and carry it with you. Certificates have no value. Nobody is going to even see these certificates. Companies are not idiots. Right now, you can participate in any shit and get a certificate. That is how the world has been made right now. If you really want to get an internship or a job, focus on knowledge, skill building. That is what you need to focus upon. Certificate के पीछे मत भागो यार, please. ठीक है, फ्री के सर्टिफिकेट्स हैं यहाँ पे, कोई वैल्यू नहीं है भाई, इसलिए फ्री के. Even paid certificates have no value. No value at all. Internships have value. Internships have value because you have worked at a company. That has value. Okay. But certificates don't have value, guys. Please focus upon learning rather than focus upon certificates. Okay. Boot camps free hai. Try to take up advantage of that to learn. Okay. See, I'm not giving you a reality check. I'm trying to make sure that you guys know what happens during an interview. As an interviewer myself, I need to make sure that you guys know about these things. Okay. Chalo, we'll come back to our topic. We were going to learn vectors a little bit more practically in nature, right? That is what we were going to do. So let's focus upon that right now. Now, vectors don't come pre-packaged in C++. Okay. For you to use vectors, you will have to call the vector itself. Okay, you have to include a particular header file called as the vector file itself. So hash include and then vector. As simple as that, guys. As simple as that. You have to include vector. Now, if you want to use vector directly right over here, again, you will have to use it like cstd and then colon vector, and then the data type that is going to go inside of the vector itself. Let's say int data type, and then the name of the vector, let's say we name it as vec right over here. So this is how you will have to create the vector. I don't want to create a vector like that. I don't want to write std again and again. So what should I do right now, guys? What should I do if I don't want to write std again and again? Come on, guys. I know you guys know the answer to that. I know that you guys know the answer to that, guys. Yes, what should I do if I don't want to write std? Very good, guys. Okay, using namespace std, using name space standard. Okay, it's the standard namespace we are going to use. So we don't have to write std colon vector anymore. We can directly write vector. Okay, then the data type of the items that are going to be contained within the vector, the name of the vector, which can be Shaurya as well if you guys want, if you like my name a lot. Okay, and then colon right over here. That is how you declare a vector, that I have just created an empty vector right over here. Okay, but what is the use of an empty vector, right? We need to put something inside of it. We need to initialize the vector itself, right? So to initialize the vector, there are multiple ways of doing it. The most easiest and the most followed way is very simple. Vector is equals to, and then it's your curly braces, and then you basically put your items right over here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, just put some spaces. Do not be like me. Sorry, the space should be after the comma, I guess. Okay, just put some spaces right over there to make it look a little bit more appealing in nature. That is how you initialize a vector. So this is a vector with 5 elements inside of it. These elements are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Could you please repeat what is a vector? You show Kirti, bhai पिछले 15 मिनट से मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ, रामायण सुना रहा हूँ भाई. वेक्टर ही तो बताया क्या होता है. हम यूज कर रहे हैं यार. क्या कर रहे थे भाई? ना भाई, I cannot repeat, sorry. So vector int is an integer vector that contains these elements. So this is the first way of initializing a vector. Another way of initializing a vector is vector. Again, we'll create an integer based vector. We'll call this as vec1. Okay. Vec1 looks like a very fancy name itself according to me, and directly put up the curly brackets and then put up 6, 7, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. So this is again a particular vector that has 5 elements inside of it. But even if you remove the equal to sign, it is the exact same thing. So you don't have to worry about it. These are the 2 ways of creating a vector, guys. Okay, initializing a vector, putting up something inside of the vector itself. Now, one more way of creating a vector, which is for a particular use case. I want to create a vector that has 5 elements inside of it, but all the elements are the same. Okay, all the elements are the same. Okay, so what is the way of doing it? First way is writing it like this, right? 1, then 1, then 1, then 1, then 1. This is the first way of doing it, right? A particular vector that has 5 elements inside of it, and all the elements right over here are 1. Okay. The another way of doing the exact same thing is vector. Again, the data type, that is int vec2. Okay, and then in parenthesis just mention 5 elements, all are ones. This is another way of creating a vector that has 5 elements and all the elements have the value 1. Okay, so this will create a vector that has the same like structure like this. The exact same thing it will create for you. Just that it is the shorthand notation. We call it as the shorthand notation, guys. Are you guys able to understand the three ways of creating a vector? Guys, are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. Yes, no, what is the scenario? Yes, okay, great guys, awesome. The next thing that we are going to focus upon is how to you are not, this is not a vector. Okay, please try to understand, 5 and 1 is not a vector, guys. We're mentioning that there are going to be 5 elements and all the elements are going to have the value 1. Let us try to print it out. Okay, so printing it a vector out is actually, we are going to learn two separate things. Okay, slowly and steadily. Okay, for those who already know vector, do not be like, वो जो नहीं पढ़ा, अभी मैंने बहुत कुछ नहीं पढ़ा, अभी पॉइंटर वॉइंटर भी पढ़ाना है मेरे को, ठीक है. सो इट इज गोइंग टू टेक अस टाइम. सर कर्ली ब्रैकेट्स, अगेन दिस इज, इफ यू पुट अप अ कर्ली ब्रैकेट दैट विल मेक इट like these are the elements. These are not the elements, guys. You use a curly, you use a rounded bracket only right over here, because you are creating 5 elements, each having value 1. Okay, so again, so let us try to print it out, guys. So the first and the most easiest way of printing something out is for int I in vec2 cout I space. Does it look very easy? For in, because again vector int vec2, right, has all integers inside of it, right? Vectors int guys, are you guys able to understand? Vec2 has all the elements that is integer inside of it, right? Yes. So in the exact same manner right over here for integer I, okay, that is the all the elements inside of the vector. Which vector? Vector2 print I. Okay, so I here will not take up values from 0 to 1. This is not your index. I will take up the value directly of the elements present inside of the vector, guys. Directly from the elements present inside of the vector. Okay, so let's first try to print vec1. Okay, vec1, all the elements are different, so we'll take up for vec1, guys. Okay, vec1 we are having 6, 7, 8, 9 and 0. Okay, let's try to print it out. So as you're able to see, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 0. So I basically is taking up the values, each of the values of the elements directly. It is not taking up values of, we are not doing for I is equals to 0, I is less than, no, we are not doing that. We're writing int I. Okay, these are the elements present inside of what? Inside of vec1. Print everything out on our screen, and that is what we are getting. Now let us check what happens if we print all the elements inside of vec2. Okay, if we try to print that, as you're able to see, all the elements, we are having 5 elements inside of vec2. Each of the elements are having the value of 1. Okay, are you guys able to see this and get this? Please let me know. Are you guys able to understand this, guys? Please let me know. It is way too. I don't like hot. I want to go into AC. Okay, great. Awesome, guys. Awesome. Let's move on to the next particular topic then. Okay. So the next topic that we are going to learn about is how to add elements to a vector. Okay. How to add elements, how we print both. Both what? Sir, how we print both? Both what? What both you want to print? Yes, Dex, we can definitely do that. Just let's try to wait for it, right? Slowly and steadily, right? I cannot teach everything right over there. 1 2. I'm still not see, if you are asking a particular question, please be very very brief with it, because it wastes a lot of time right over there. Vec 1 and Vec 2, definitely we can print both of them out. Control C and just add it right over here. Okay, you just put Vec 1 right over here and you can print both. Now you will get your 1 1 1 1 1 6 7 8 9 0. You're able to get everything right over here, right? Thank you, I got to know in C++. You can treat this as in. Okay, you can treat this as in right over there as well. Okay. Okay, so let's move on to the next particular topic, how to add elements inside of a vector, guys. Let me remove this. This is no longer needed. Okay. How do we put a new line? We'll learn that slowly and steadily. Okay, so right over here, guys, the next thing that we have to learn about is so new line, you just write \n, you print out a new line itself. Take a \n, that is how you print a new line. Okay, so right over here, guys, now we need to learn how to add an element into the vector. Now adding an element is actually pretty simple. Okay, you use something called as push back. Okay, not push pa. Okay, push back, guys. Okay, so push back basically works something like this. We'll add something to the vec2 itself. Okay, so you basically write down right over there vec2. Okay, what particular vector you want to add a particular element, dot push underscore back, and the element that you want to add. I want to add the element 2. Okay, then I want to add another element. Okay, I will add 3 elements right over here. So I'll copy paste this. Okay, then I will add 3 right over here. Then again I will add another particular element. I'll add 4 right over here. Okay, so I'm adding 3 elements right over here inside of vec2, guys. Vec2, please do remember, it is 5 ones. Okay, so I'm adding 2, then I'm adding 3, then I'm adding 4. As the name pushback basically suggests, it adds the element at the end of the current vector. So 5 ones, then I'm adding 2. Then you are having 5 ones, 2, then I'm adding 3. Then you are having 5 ones, 2, then I'm adding 4. I don't have another arm, just believe me when I'm showing, like, there is a 4 right over here. Okay, so now let's print out our new vec2. Okay, again the same code we can use for printing out vec2 once again. Okay, that is for int I, that is for every element in vec2, print every element right over there. Okay, and let's run it once again, right? So I need to print it out in a new line first. So I'll just put up cout less than \n and then less than. I don't need a less than. I don't know why did I do that. So this basically creates a new line. So I'm just putting that up right over here. Let me run this once again. So as you're able to see, the original array was just 5 ones. Now the new array is 5 ones, then 2, then 3, then 4. So whatever you push back, it gets added at the back itself. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. Are you guys able to understand this, guys? Please let me know. Yes, you can do that as well. You can add multiple elements using the same line, but I usually suggest students not to do that. Okay, that is usually not a very good practice. /n, I don't know what it does, but \n basically takes you to the new line. Okay, push front, no, that does not exist. Okay, you have 2 other things. Okay, you have 2 other things itself, that is insert and in place, but we are not going to talk about it right now. We'll be talking about it in the coding journey itself. Okay, okay, so let's move on, right? Let's move on from right over there. Okay, endl, yes, you can definitely use endl as well. \n and endl will give you the exact same thing. Endl basically means end line. Okay, so if you don't want to write a \n, you can use endl as well. It will take your particular cursor to the next line. That is basically what it does. So both of them will give you the exact same results. Okay, so you can use \n or you can write end l right over here. Both of them will give you the exact same results. Okay, nothing different right over there. Are you guys able to understand? So now the vec2 size is 10. Yes. Okay, are you guys able to understand this? Yes, end of line. And I call it as end line because there's no O in the middle, so I call it as end line. Definitely not end of the loan. Okay, so let's move on to the next particular thing, guys. How to access an element from the vector, right? Usually when you were trying to access an element from the array, you use those square brackets, right? You can use those same square brackets inside of vector as well. So for example, if I want to print something like, let's remove this, okay, and let's comment this out as well. Okay, सर प्लीज प्रोवाइड C++ नोट्स. अबे शर्म आ रही है नोट्स मांगने से पहले. नोट्स का मतलब होता है समथिंग पर्सनलाइज्ड. You have to create your own notes. How will I create notes and give it to you first of all? I don't have any other work or something. Okay, so right over here, guys, let's start with something new. Okay, how to access an element from a vector. Now, yes, you can do it like this as well. So C out less than vec2, and then I want to access the element at the 5th particular position, and that's it. Okay, so you can do the exact same thing. Indexing works the exact same way inside of vectors as well. So vec2 at the 5th location, you run it, you get the value at the 5th particular location, that is 2. Okay, simple as that. But while using vectors, this is the most frowned way of using it. This is the most frowned way of trying to access an element. The reason being that if you try to access an element that is present at the 11th index, does the 11th index exist for vec2, guys? Please let me know. Does the 11th index exist for vec2, guys? Please let me know. Does the 11th index exist for vec2? Think about it. No, right? Because we only have 5 ones and then 2, 3 and 4. The total number of elements is only 8. So how will our index be up till 11, right? But if we run this, it will give us some value on our screen. It will give us 0 on our screen. It should give us error. It should give us error. This is a problem, right? This is a problem. So due to that clear reason itself, we usually prevent us from not using something like this, but we use C out less than vec2 dot add and then the particular index. This is what we use. Okay, this is what we use, guys. Manodol, I'm just removing you from the class if you're going to continue this. If you want to focus upon what you're learning, you are here for certificates, leave immediately. Immediately leave. If you want to sit here and learn, please learn. Okay? Okay. So right over here, guys, as you are able to see vec2 dot at 5, okay, at the index 5, this will also give you the exact same thing, 2, right? What is the value at the index 5? 2. But if you try to put something, an index that is not present, like 11, okay, if you try to access something that is not present, that is 11, right? If you try to run it, it will give you an error. It will give you an error right over here. Okay, which is greater than the size, which is 8. Okay, so it is giving you an error right over here, guys. That is the reason why we prefer using something that is called as at instead of using your square brackets to access elements. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. अरे यार ये देखो, I'm going to address this for the very last time throughout this bootcamp for Priyanshi G. ठीक है? Just for Priyanshi G, I'm going to address this for the very last time. If you guys want certificates, if you are missing out more than 1 day of attendance, you're not going to get it. If you are doing Bakchodi in my class and I get your name, you're not going to get the certificates. ठीक है? If you are using different email IDs to fill out your attendance, you are not going to get the certificates. You have to use the exact same email ID. And if we are providing the certificates or not, guys, you are trying to learn, CSE. Okay, so go on LinkedIn. You can search for DevTown right over there. People who get the certificates post it up on LinkedIn. Okay, they post it up on LinkedIn right over here. Okay, Python and artificial intelligence. Okay, they get their certificates. Every single thing that you're able to see are these certificates for different boot camps and different shit things itself. Okay, every single certificate that you are able to see right away, people post it, certificates are given. Now please focus upon the class. If you're here just for the certificates, I'm telling you again and again, certificates don't matter at all in your interviews or in your getting internships or getting job roles. Certificates don't matter. What matters is knowledge. If you want to learn. If you don't want to learn, please leave the class, because it ruins my mood. I come here to share knowledge. I come here to interact with you guys. And all I see is certificate. चिकन हो क्या भाई? भेड़ बकरी की तरह घूमते रहोगे ना, भेड़ बकरी की तरह ही जिंदगी जियोगे, किसी दिन हलाल हो जाओगे, बस खत्म जिंदगी वहीं की वहीं. कुछ करना है जिंदगी में तो नॉलेज गेन करो. नॉलेज से लोग आगे बढ़ते हैं, सर्टिफिकेट से नहीं. वरना भेड़ बकरी की तरह ही TCS जाओगे, वहीं पे हलाल होगे, जिंदगी वहीं पे खत्म होगी, वही करते रह जाओगे जिंदगी भर. अभी अगर सिर्फ लड़कों का क्लास होता ना तो मैं ऐसा 2-3 चीज और बोलता जिसमें ना एकदम मजा आ जाता, लेकिन अपने आप को बहुत रोक के मैं रखता हूं यहाँ पे. छी, मूड खराब कर देता है एकदम. चलो अब वापस आते हैं मूड बनाने के लिए यहाँ पे. ठीक है, और करते हैं. ठीक है, ओके. Right over here, guys, the next thing that we need to focus upon is that we have understood how to access the elements and what is the right way of accessing elements when you are using vectors, right? What is the next thing that we want to do? We have accessed elements, we have inserted elements. Now we need to delete them as well. Okay. So let's try to focus upon how to delete. Okay. Because I have to learn the Hindi language too. Dex, I'm very sorry for that. It was just a rant. You can just focus upon what we are learning, right? Okay. So the next thing that we have to understand is that how to delete an element from, see, changing an element, I think so that is not a big deal, right? If you want to change an element, right, you can just write it like this. Vec2 at 5. Okay, vec2 at 5 is equals to 6. Okay, vec2 at 5 is equals to 6. Okay, as simple as that, guys. You have changed the value of the element. You can cross verify this as well. So we'll just take this out and we'll just copy paste this, Control C, and we'll put it up right over here. After this, we'll just put C out less than end L, and then we'll paste this right over here. We'll just run this, and yeah, as you're able to see, that position has now been changed by 6. That position has now been changed by 6 right over here. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. Are you guys able to understand this, guys? Please let me know. Yes, no, what is the scenario? Yes, okay, great. So right over here, as you're able to see, so you can like access the element and change the element on your own as well. Now to delete elements, you are having something called as push pop back. Okay, so just like you having push back, now it is time to pop it back. Okay, pop back will basically delete an element from the last. It's as simple as that, right? So if I want to pop back something, I'll just pop it back from right over here. So vec2 dot pop underscore back back. So this will delete the last element for me. That's it. So currently our last element is 4, right? Let's implement this and run this. As you're able to see, the last element has been deleted. The last element is now 3. The last element is now 3. Yes, like a stack and a queue, right? Definitely Thunderbolt. If you have already studied that, then you might be able to relate to it. It is still way too hot for me. Okay. So एंड में क्विज टेस्ट रख लीजिए, डाउट कर लिए होंगे. clear honge, I think so. You want to write that. Priya, the problem is that I actually don't have that much time. I come back from office around like right now I'm coming back around 7:30. Then I start this particular boot camp. Then I end this boot camp. I go back home. Then I have my another class that I have to take up for on Zoom for my other students as well, that go on for 2 hours, and then half an hour, 1 hour I give them for doubts as well. So after that, I don't have any time to do any shit. Like I then just watch some anime and eat my food and go to sleep. So I don't have enough time for that, but maybe in the future, definitely I'll think about it. Okay. Okay. So let's move on to the next particular topic, right? We have learned how to delete the element as well. There is one more thing which is very important right now, that is getting the size of our vector as well. How many elements are there inside of our vector? Okay, so to do that, it is actually pretty simple. I will just comment this out. Okay, and you can just put it up right over here. We'll comment this out as well. We don't actually require it right now. Okay, so to see the size of the vector, you just write vec2 dot size size. Simple, as simple as that. This will give you the size of the vector. Simple. Okay. Anshika, while doing our coding, if that would be required, I'll be teaching you guys right over there itself. Okay. Okay, so right over here, as you are able to see, we are getting 7. That is the current size of our vector. Size basically gives you the size of your vector itself. This is actually pretty important moving further. That is the reason why I'm telling you guys right now. Now we will talk about a add as many varies that you want. Okay, important topic, that is pointers. Okay. Pointers is actually a pretty difficult topic to understand for many students. So I'm going to make you guys understand by putting a finger on you. Okay. This is what a pointer is in C++. You basically point to something. Okay. You are not actually holding that object in your hand. You're basically pointing it out. Okay. That Shoresna lives there. Okay. If you want to meet Shoresna, go at that particular address. That is what you're doing right over here. Pointer is basically pointing to an address. Okay, that is where Shoresna basically lives. That is what a pointer is. For example, you need to understand that when you are creating an array or a vector itself, how is it getting stored inside of your computer's memory? You need to understand that first of all. So let's assume that this is the vector that we want to create. कितना गंदा drawing है मेरा. Very bad drawing, right? I could be the next Picasso. So right over here, this is our particular vector. Let's assume 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. When it is getting stored inside of our computer, inside of the memory of our computer, it is being stored something like this. Okay. I'm not going to go into the technical names and details, otherwise, because I have not taught you guys that, you will not even able to understand. Okay. So this is how it is stored. There are memory locations that are there inside of the computer. I'll just extend it like this. Dot, 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 dot. Dot, 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 dot. Okay. Each location has a particular address to it. Okay, each location has a particular address to it. Okay, so let's see that the address will be 270 D5A small a Z 8 900. Okay, this is like the address to this particular location. This is like me saying that I live at so and so street of so and so building of so and so floor. Like that is basically what it means. It is basically the address that is this particular location. If it stores 1, okay, let's assume this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5. So this is the address of 1. Okay, now 1 is an integer, right? 1 is an integer. So what is the size of 1? How much space inside of memory does 1 basically contain? Okay, so let's check that up, right? Size of 1. Of 1. Okay. Let's run this. Oh, sorry. Is it size of or just size? Yeah, size of. I'm so sorry. That was my mistake. Size of 1. Okay. So as you're able to see, 4, right? 1 is basically an integer. Everybody is able to agree with me on this. 1 is basically an integer. Size of basically tells you how many bytes. If you don't know bytes, let me tell you that as well. Okay, megabytes, gigabytes, petabytes, right? You guys have heard about kilobytes. So these bytes are basically a measurement, a unit measurement of a particular space inside of your computer. Okay, so 1, that is an integer. Any integer of that particular factor, any integer that is there will take up 4 bytes of memory space. Will take up 4 bytes of memory space, guys. So right over here inside of your memory as well, where did it go? Where was I writing stuff down? So the next particular 2 will be located at a similar memory space, that is 270D5AA Z89104. Next will be located at 270D5AAZ89108. Next will be located at 270D5AA2 Z89112. Next will be located at 270D5AA289116, and so on and so forth. So these will be the location. These are the addresses for all these elements right over here. Now, when I create a pointer, so let's say this is a pointer, guys. This is a pointer. This is PTR. I'm naming this as PTR or pointer right over here. Pointer basically, so if I create a pointer that points, so this PTR is currently pointing to our 1. Okay, it is pointing to our 1 itself. In that case, it basically contains the address inside of it. So the variable pointer will contain the address inside of it. That is 270D5AAZ89100. This is the value that will be contained inside of that particular memory location. So here it contained the value 1, but when I'm creating a pointer pointing to 1, in that case, it pointer will contain the address of our value 1. That is what actually happens inside of your computer. This is what actually happens inside of your computer. That is what I'm explaining it to you guys. This is how pointers basically work. Pointer basically is not containing the value 1. It is basically just pointing that there is where 1 is. So how is there identified? By its address, IP address. कहाँ से IP address आ रहा है बेचो? कहाँ से तुम कंप्यूटर नेटवर्किंग को घुसा रहे हो इसके अंदर? Address, memory address, कंप्यूटर के अंदर का memory address, नॉट आईपी एड्रेस. हम लोग अभी आईओटी और कंप्यूटर नेटवर्किंग की बात नहीं कर रहे. वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट अ नॉर्मल कंप्यूटर, सेल्फ सस्टेन कंप्यूटर, नॉट इवन कनेक्टिंग टू एन इंटरनेट कंप्यूटर. No point of IP address. Do not confuse these shit topics together itself. Exactly. Pointer contains address of another value, not variable value. Swati, please do remember this, not variable value. Okay. Okay, so that is what pointer are. Let us try to use pointers a little bit more. Maybe after using pointers a little bit more, you guys might be able to understand it a bit better, right? Otherwise you will say that, sir, kya karwa rahe ho, chutiya bana rahe ho hum log ko. I don't want that to happen, right? So the two most easiest pointers that actually exist inside of our vectors by default is vec.begin this returns a pointer that points to the beginning of the array, sorry, beginning of the vector itself. Those who are not able to understand a pointer, just understand when I create a pointer, it just points to something. It just points to a particular value. It is not equal to the value. It is pointing to the value. It is basically like you saying that this is a particular society. These are the different houses right over here. This particular pointer basically points to this particular value. So this is my hand and I'm pointing it right over here. So it is basically pointing to this particular house, whatever the address is. Maybe Juhu Beach Road 1, building number 27, floor 2. Okay, so it is basically just pointing to that particular house. That's it. You create a variable is equal to the value that is there in that house. Whereas the pointer basically just points to that particular house. That's it. That is the only difference between a variable and a pointer. Okay, we'll understand it. Now, vec.begin is an inbuilt thing inside of vectors that creates a vector that points to the beginning of the particular vector. Wherever the vector began in the memory, it will point it right over there. Okay. Another particular vector that is there is vec.end. This basically points to wherever the vector has ended. So the vector has ended right over here. So it will point to the next particular memory location. The vector has ended here, right? The vector has ended here, right? So it will point to the next particular memory location. That is what vec.end points out to. Wherever the vector has ended, after that, whatever the memory location it will be pointing to that. Are you guys able to understand it? Please let me know. Are you guys able to understand that? Please let me know. Yes, no, what is the scenario? If no, then what are you not able to understand? I need to understand that. Okay, great. So let's try to use pointers practically to understand it a little bit more. Now, to create a pointer for our particular use case, that is not general pointer. I'm not talking about general pointers, guys. For our purpose, we want to create a pointer for our vector itself. To do that, it is actually pretty simple. You create it such as this vector, and we see tur vector. I'll just scroll down a little bit more. Then you are having your integer based vector, right? And having an integer based vector, and I want to create an iterator out of it. The name of this particular iterator will be iter. Okay, this iter is basically now a pointer that is currently pointing to nothing. Okay, this iterator iter is a pointer that is currently pointing to nothing, guys. It is currently pointing to nothing. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. This is how you create and iterate like a pointer for our purpose, because we are currently purposed towards what? We are currently purposed towards learning about vectors, right? So this is how you do that. Okay, it is called as iterator. This particular pointer, type of pointer that is meant for our vectors are called as iterators itself. Okay, that is the name of that particular type of pointers. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we are going to have iter is equals to our vec2.begin begin. Okay, so now our iterator is basically the pointer that is pointing to the beginning of our vector. Our iterator, our iter pointer that we created is now the pointer that is pointing to the beginning of our vector, guys. Okay, are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. Now, if I want to print what is the value present inside of the iter, okay, let's try to print it out. Cout less than iter. Let's try to see what gets printed right over here. Am I printing anything else anywhere? No, right? So let's try to print. Okay, this is also something that I'm printing. I'll just comment it out. So right now, let's see what does iter actually contain inside of it. Okay, let's run this. Count iter, what is the problem statement that I'm facing, blah 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 blah. अरे सीधा problem बताना भाई, इतना क्या ज्ञान पेल रहा है. No type, name type, instruct, blah blah blah. Count iter, file including blah 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 blah. क्या गड़बड़ कर दिया मैंने. Let me check if this is working. This might be the problem with an online compiler. Yeah, so this is a problem with the online compiler. I cannot like print out the address because we are currently not using our own computer. We are using somebody else's computer. So they have limited us by not being able to access the memory. So I cannot print the address right over here. If you guys are using something like your own personal computer and you're coding on top of it, if you do see out iter, it will print out the address of that particular location. Because we are using an online compiler, they have limited our access to not being able to access that. Okay, so this will print the address basically right over there. Nevertheless, if I try to put a star in front of iter, okay, if you put up a star right over there in front of the iter, it will give you the value present at that particular address. It will give you value present at that particular address as well. So if I put up a star right over there in front of iter, and if I run this, as you're able to see, it will give me the value present at that particular address, that is 1. That is what was present at the beginning of the particular array. Now what if I want to print what is present at the 5th particular position in the array? Dot begin gives us like the pointer to the first particular element. Now what if I want to print what is present at the 5th particular position? How can I take my pointer from the first position to the 5th position? How can I do that? For that, you can just add 5 to it. Vec2 dot begin plus 5. This will move your pointer 5 address down. It will move your pointer 5 address down. Right now, your pointer was pointing. This was your vec.begin. Okay, this was your vec.begin. When you add 1 to it, it will move down. Okay, it will move down right over here. When you add again 1 to it, it will again move down to the next particular address. When you add 1 to it again, it will again move down to the next particular address, and so on and so forth. So you can move your pointer from here and there. If you negate 1, it will go up in the direction itself. So if I do plus 5, it will print the 5th particular item that is there in the particular vector. If I run this, as you are able to see, we'll get 6 as our output, whatever element is present at the 5th particular position. Okay, that is 5th index itself. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. Yes, you can do plus plus as well, but that will just move one particular position further. We want 5, so you cannot do plus 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 plus. Don't do that. Okay. Okay, so this is how you can move your particular pointer here and there. I know today time has been over, so what we'll do is we'll learn about vec.end tomorrow. We'll learn about how to use vec.begin, vec.end to actually go around through the vector, which is usually the preferred option while using vectors. Okay, to access the elements in the vectors or to traverse the vectors itself. So learn about that in our tomorrow's class in the first half, and then in the second half we'll take up one particular random question from lead code and we'll try to solve it. Okay, so I'll give you guys the attendance link for today's class. Give me a second. Yes, circuit minds, you can definitely do that. The more that you learn, the more you learn about yourself. That is what I feel. You can definitely register for the same. Just focus upon the learning aspect. Okay, do not be there to get certificates. Be there to learn HTML, learn C++, learn how to build the project. And Instagram clone is a good project right over there, right? Okay, so day 3. Array. Responses, open, send, link, shorten, copy. So the attendance link will be closed exactly at 9:26. Please start filling up your attendance right now. Okay, the attendance link will be closed exactly at 9:26, guys. Please start filling up the attendance right now. The attendance will be closed exactly at 9:26. Please start filling up your attendance right now. The attendance link is in the live chat. We'll meet in our tomorrow's class and we'll continue from right over there. Okay, I'm not sure which field do I want to do my career. इतना तो सोचना भी नहीं होता. There are only 3 fields that are available. Please try to understand. You are having data science, you are having full stack, and then you are having your software engineering. These are the only 3 fields that are available. If you're choosing full stack or data science, you're already eligible for software engineering. Okay, so basically you are having only 2 choices, either full stack or data science. These are the only 2 options that you are having. I don't know where you're getting all these immense options right over there. Okay. Sir, are we going to make Instagram clone using HTML, CSS, JavaScript, or React and JavaScript? Kavish, what is the name of the bootcamp? Go and check that first. I think so. The name will make it absolutely clear for you. Okay, so we'll meet on tomorrow's class and we'll continue from right over there. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Bye bye. Bye bye.